In this video, I am going to walk you through the steps of creating a hundreds book using iMovie. The first step is just going to be to go to Google and get a storyboard template. If you don't already have one of your own to use, go to Google, type in storyboard template, and it'll give you lots of different options. The one I chose just looks like this, very simple, 6 boxes with just a few lines underneath for the kids to write out what their story will look like. My suggestion for the template in this first box would be to have your title. So something along the lines of My Hundreds Book by Bobby. And then in the second box, I would have them put their first page down. It would say something like, I wish I had 100, and then have whatever they want to have there. They could draw a picture, just a rough sketch of what they would have in this box here. Then the same thing for the third box. I wish I had 100 whatever. And depending how many of these kind of slides you want to have, you could have them do that one more time, or maybe you just want them to have 2 I wish I hads. But then whenever you decide to have them kind of wrap up their story, then the last slide will put in, but I wouldn't want 100, and then have their picture or drawing in that box as well. Again, these are just rough sketches. They don't have to be real in-depth at this point. And then in the last box, I would have this be maybe an about the author page, just a picture of themselves that they will take, and then maybe tell a little bit about them. Once the students have planned out their story using a storyboard on paper, the next step is going to be to figure out how they want to use pictures. Do they want to get a picture off the internet, or do they want to instead use an app to draw their own pictures for their story? If they want to get the pictures off the internet, photos off the internet, we can show you how to do that a little bit later. But right now I want to show you how students could draw their own pictures using the app Drawing Carl. To begin, let's open up the Drawing Carl app, and when you do so, you will see your just blank page here. On the left side, you can see all of your colors. You can scroll up or down to see all of the colors. If you hit the plus button, you can even create a new color that you would like to choose. Just hit the OK button if you find a color that you would like to choose, and it will add it to your palette here on the left side. Along the bottom, you can see all the different kinds of tools. You have a pencil, and when you click on the pencil, it gives you 4 different variations of the pencil. Then the crayon, you can choose your thickness. The marker or paintbrush there, you can go through each of these and see several different styles. This would be for creating like a background. If I would choose one of these, it kind of does a paint brush effect, almost like you're rolling paint on. If I draw a circle, it will fill it in. That's that option there. If you want to go back, hit the arrows at the top right of the screen. I can go back and undo my last move there, which is pretty nice. If you look at this stamp right here, you can do several different types of stamps. Stars, dots, splatters, whatever it might be, and it gives you all those options. This is the eraser tool. If you have a bunch of stuff on here already you've drawn and you just want to erase the whole thing and start over, again, you could do the undo button. I'll redo that and show you a different way to cancel what you've done. Just hit the trash can and it just scraps the entire thing. Then this button right here can be very useful for adding photos or pictures to your drawing that you're creating. So if you click on this very first one, you'll see these are just little Carl caricatures or cartoon characters here that you can add to your drawing that you're creating. If you click on the second button here, the clouds, this is actually for adding either a background or a photo or picture that you have saved on your iPad. So let me just show you this real quick. Let's say that I wanted to add a photo that kind of looks like a Polaroid. I'll choose that third one there, and I can go to my camera roll and I can choose one. So I have this picture that's saved in here from the internet. So I had found this on Google Images, and I'll choose this gumball machine, and now it makes it as a Polaroid picture in on my Drawing Carl app. Now I could take this and I could expand it by pinching. I'm just expanding out using two fingers. I can make it smaller, bigger. I can even rotate it left or right. So let's say that I wanted to use this picture here as my first page in my hundreds board, after my title page, of course, and then I could use a marker and I could write out to the side here, I wish I had 100 gumballs. Okay, this is just kind of a test page here to show you how we can create one. Now, there is no text feature where you can type text out on this app. However, once we go into iMovie, if you had a picture that you wanted to insert and then type over that in iMovie, we can actually add typing text to it, so that would be an option. But let's just keep this right here for now. I wish I had 100 gumballs is our picture, and we'll use this for the second page of our drawing. Let me then show you what we can do to save this to our camera roll, and that's how we'll use it for iMovie. If I take this page here and I clicked on the bottom right, it'll show all the drawings that I have made within this Drawing Carl app. Now they're just saved right now within Drawing Carl, but if I want to put them into my photos, I'm going to click on the Photos button up here on the left side, and you see it takes it and it gives me an indication saying that it was saved in Photos. So now if I would go out of this and I would scroll over to my photos, let me see if I can find those easily. I don't have them up recently, so let me just clear out of here, and I'll do a search on my iPad for photos. It's the easiest way to find it, and it'll bring up my photos, and you can see that in my camera roll the most recent picture I have is this one that I created. I wish I had 100 gumballs, and I think this will be very easy to find then when we go into iMovie. So that's the basics of Drawing Carl. Again, going back to the Drawing Carl app, once you're here to view all your drawings, if you want to go back and draw, add to a drawing you've done already, you could click on that drawing again, and then you can further edit it if you would like. If you make changes, be sure to save them again to the camera roll. Or if I am back here and I want to, say I want to trash a picture, I have this Test 2 one here. I clicked on it. And now that I have it chosen, I can hit the trash button and it goes into the trash can. If I wanted to create a new picture, then here I could put in the plus sign, and now I have a brand new canvas to work from. Back over to the last button down at the bottom, we showed you pictures. There are other stickers and stamps. There are letters, so this would be a way you could kind of put in typing. It would just take a while because you'd have to do each one individually. You'd have to go in and drag out each letter. There's not really a very good typing feature in here. So I'll take that out. And if I go back, you can see stickers. And of course, kids love mustaches. There's all kinds of mustaches you can add in there as well. The eyeball button, if you click on that, that's just again for adding, fun little decorations if they were making faces or whatever. So you can see this is a pretty basic app, but it has a lot of really cool features as well that can be fun for the kids to use. Now that we've learned how to draw pictures using Drawing Carl, the next step is going to be to insert all of the pictures into iMovie that you want to use that match your storyboard. So let's open up iMovie, and again I like to just search by swiping down in the middle of the screen and then just search for iMovie to find it easily on my iPad. When you first bring up iMovie, if it's the first time it's opened up, it's actually going to take you to a different screen. This is the hundreds book that I had worked on with my daughter. It will take you to the very beginning screen that'll show you all of your projects. What we're going to do is make sure that at the very top we are clicked on projects. There is video. This is all the videos that are on your iPad or theater, the projects that you have finished and published to your theater, but we want to be on projects at the very top. So whatever screen opens up first, just go into projects is where you want to be, and then in the upper right hand corner we're going to click the plus button to create a new project. And we want to create a movie, not a trailer, so click on movie, and it will ask you kind of a template that you want to use. You can choose really any of these here at the bottom. It doesn't matter much other than the text that will show up on the movie that you make. Just choose the simple one. I think that's probably the best way to go to begin, and then hit create movie at the top right. So when you open up iMovie, just quickly, the top left portion is your preview screen. So this is where your project will play, and you can kind of scroll through it using the scroll bar here at the bottom of the screen. Over on the right side is just kind of like my library of videos or photos or anything that I have saved on my iPad already. So what we're trying to do here is we want to start by building the pictures into iMovie. So at the top right, I'm going to choose, instead of video, I'm going to choose photos, and it'll show my camera roll. I'm going to click on camera roll, and it's going to show you all of the different photos that I have saved there. The very first one that I want to use is this one that I had created that says My Hundreds Book. This is my title page, and again this is should match the template that we did, the storyboard. So right now if I just scroll at the bottom back and forth, it will play this slide, and it does this neat feature where it just kind of zooms in and out, and when I play it you can see that it's just going to kind of zoom in and out, and it says My Hundreds Book, and it's just right now a picture of that. So I want to put in the other pictures to match my storyboard, and the others that I have chosen are the gumball picture that I had done that I have writing on, so I'll choose that one next. And then the next one that I will choose will be this one of a bunch of snowflakes. I actually counted out 100 snowflakes there, and I want to do one more, and I wanted to show you how you can get a picture from the internet to put in here. The last one I want to do, I don't have a picture of in my camera roll. It's basketballs, and I didn't want to draw a bunch of basketballs, but if I wanted to find a picture on the internet, I'm going to click the home button to go out of iMovie for a minute, and I will click on Safari or get into your web browser. I'll use Safari there, and when I open up Safari, I'm going to just type in the very top. You don't have to go to Google and search first. You can just type in at the very top. Got a couple notifications coming up. We'll ignore those. But if I just type in picture of basketballs, and you know what, I probably didn't even have to put picture of, just basketballs would have been fine, and then hit go. It will bring up a whole bunch of pictures here. You can even click on the images tab here just below Google, and it will bring up all of the images of basketballs. So look through here, find one that you like. I like this picture kind of right here in the middle, so I'm going to click on that one. Once I click on it, then I'm going to hit View Image. This will give me the highest quality picture, and it will basically just give me the picture all by itself without the rest of the web page. Then if I click and hold down on it, I'm going to click Save Image. And when I click Save Image, what it's done now is it has saved it to my camera roll. So if I double click the home button and then go back into iMovie, it takes a second to kind of load everything up that you had in there already. And again, go back to Photos at the top right. You'll see in my camera roll now I have all of those basketballs. So I can choose that and insert that into my iMovie. So from my template, so far I have my title page, I have my gumball page, I have my snowflake page, and I have my basketball page. I just need my last one of what I don't want 100 of. And I have a picture here. Again, this is one that I use with my daughter of a bunch of dirty diapers, so we'll use that. And then the last page will be the About the Author page. And again, students could build that by taking a picture of themselves and then writing information. I'm not going to take the time to do that right now, but you get the idea of adding pictures and putting them in. So if I scroll back down to the very beginning of my video, so far all we've done is insert pictures. If I hit the play button, then you'll just see what this looks like. Each slide by default stays up for about 5 or 6 seconds. So you can kind of get an idea of what we have so far. I'll show you a little bit later how we can change the length of those, but right now that's not necessary because we're going to want them to match the students' voices when they read their story out loud, if you choose to do the audio portion of that. The one thing I did want to show you, if I go back to this very first slide, you can see My Hundreds book. If you click on that, it'll highlight it in yellow. And then you see these notifications come up that say pinch to position the start. So right now, this is what you see in the preview screen, top left, is what they will see. So if I pinch it to make it a little bigger, that way you can see the entire story. Or the entire title, My 100 Book. And then if you click on the little arrow to the right just below the blue there, then you can say pinch to the position at the end. So it starts out showing everything. If you want it to kind of zoom in towards the 100, you could position it like that. Or you could reverse that where it starts this way and zooms out so you can see the entire thing. Or if you just wanted it to stay the same, so from beginning to end it really doesn't do that zoom feature, you could just leave it that way. So that's what I'll do for now. I'll click back out of it, scroll, and now you'll see that it just kind of stays frozen. It doesn't move it at all. Same thing with this second slide. It's kind of hard to see the gumball portion at the bottom, so I'm going to click on this one again. And the position at the end, I want us to make sure that we can see where it says gumballs. So I'll make sure that that's there at the end. And then I'll scroll back again and we'll see what this looks like. I wish I had 100 gumballs. And it scrolls out enough that you can see what it says, so that looks good. The snowflakes doesn't have any text on it at this point, so we're in good shape with the rest of those. Our next step is to add text to the slides. And the way we're going to do that, let's go back to the very beginning just to see what we have so far. On this very first slide, there's no text to add because I already have written out My 100 Book. Actually, you know what? Let's put our author's name on this as well. So we will add some text to this. So again, click at the bottom on the actual picture that we have there. And you'll see at the very bottom of the screen where it says Title. Click on Title, and it will give you some options there on the left. None, Opening, Middle, or Closing. Right now there's no text. If I hit Opening, you'll see where it's going to position the text there. If I hit Middle, you'll see it keeps it there at the bottom. I'm not sure why. And then Closing, we'll put it there on the right side. I like it there on the right side. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm going to leave it there, and then if I click where it says title text here up in the preview window, it will bring up a keyboard for me to type in what I want. So I'm going to write my name, and I'll write by, and then my name by Matt Brandon. Oh, there it is, auto-filling for me. Very nice. Hit done, and then that will stay in there as my title. So now if I go back to the beginning of the screen again and I hit play, you'll see that it pops up by Matt Brandenburger along with my picture. This slide again already has the text on it. I wish I had 100 gumballs is what it has on there. So that looks good. This one, we just have the picture of snowflakes, so let's add text to this. Again, click on the picture, then at the bottom hit title, and we can either put it at the opening, the middle, that makes it a little smaller in the middle, and then the closing was over on the right side. I kind of like the opening part. Text is a little bigger, so we'll put that here, and I'll just write at the bottom here the text. I wish I had 100 snowflakes, and then put a period, hit done, and now I have added that text here. So if I hit play, again it'll pop up and leave that up there. I wish I had 100 snowflakes, and then disappear. The basketballs, I'll do the same thing for. I clicked on the picture, I hit title, I'll choose opening again, click on where it says title text here, and type in I wish I had 100 basketballs, period. Hit the done button and it will have it inserted as well. Go on to my last slide here of my dirty diapers. Hit title. Again, hit opening at the bottom left. Click on title text here. Hit the little X button instead of having to hit the backspace a bunch, and you can type in, but I wouldn't want 100 dirty diapers, and then we'll put an exclamation point and hit done. So now we have added text to all of our slides, and here's what it looks like so far if I play it through. Again, there's no audio with it yet. We'll get to that in a second. My title page there, then my first I wish with the gumballs, then my next I wish with the snowflakes, my next I wish with the basketballs, and then finally with the diapers. Now let me show you at this point how we could go back, and if we thought the length of some of the slides wasn't long enough, like maybe the title page you wanted to leave up there a little bit longer. If I click on the actual slide, again it's highlighted yellow, I can take the ends of that and extend them to make them longer or shorter. Notice at the very top of the preview screen the length changing. I think it was originally at 5 seconds. As I am holding down and dragging to the right, it's extending, so I'll extend it to maybe 6.5 seconds, like that. You can lengthen them or shorten them, and I wanted to show you that. So at this point, if all you want is text and you don't want student voices in there, you can just kind of time it out and see, kind of as you go, read it and see if it makes sense. I wish I had 100 gumballs. Seems like a pretty good length. I wish I had 100 snowflakes. I think our lengths are pretty good, but let's say that you wanted to make the snowflakes one a little longer. Again, hold down or just click on that picture and extend by, at the end of it, the yellow bar make it a little bit longer. We'll make it 5 seconds instead of 4 like it was. If you click on the picture, you can see this one again at the top of the preview screen is 4.1 seconds. I can make it a little bit longer if I would like. Maybe we'll just kind of make them all a standard length of 5 seconds by clicking on each of them. And this last one, it did make it 5 seconds. So I'm not sure if it's just random how it chooses 4 or 5 seconds for each of the pictures, but that's how you can adjust the length of them. Okay, now it's time to add the voiceover to our iMovie. We have the text in there, we have the pictures. Now we can put the voice over the top of it all. And the way we're going to do that, in the bottom right corner you'll see a microphone. It's the middle icon down there. If you click on that, it'll bring up the ready to record indicator of where your voice level is at. Now we want to teach kids to talk towards the microphone, and the microphone is located opposite the home button. It's right above the little camera. You'll see a little hole if your case allows it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see based on the case, but just make sure that the kids are talking opposite the microphone. And when they talk into it, you don't want their mouths right up next to it like I'm doing now. Otherwise, it's all red. You also don't want them talking too quietly, or you'll see it's not very high at all and it won't make a very good recording. You want it to be at a level where it's about right there at the yellow, in the yellow or high green, somewhere in there is a good level for it to be at. So if their mouth's a few inches away from the microphone and they're just talking at a normal level, that's a good recording voice to have. So when I am ready to record, then I'm going to hit the button that says ready to record. I'm going to hit the record button on the right. And when I do that, I'm just going to say what is on my screen. So for the very first one, it says My Hundreds Book by Matt Brandenburger. I'll go ahead and say that. I'll hit record. It gives me a countdown. My Hundreds Book by Matt Brandenburger. Then I hit stop. Then it gives me options. I can either cancel it if I don't want to use it at all. I can retake it, review it, or accept it. I'm going to accept it. I didn't make any mistakes. And it will then show up as another line down there. Now let me turn my iPad again so it's in the landscape mode like we're used to seeing. And you'll see that the recording down here is in blue, so it shows you how long the recording is. Now you don't have to make the recording the entire length of your slide. So my slide starts right here. If I slide over, my talking doesn't start till about right here. So there's a couple seconds of dead air, that's fine. And then when I get done talking here, there's a couple more seconds of dead air. I do want to clean that up a little bit. Let me play it first, the first time, to see what it looks like and sounds like. And I hope you'll be able to hear this as well. I have to hold this up to my microphone so you can hear. Okay, looks pretty good. At the very end, you could kind of hear me shuffling around, and you can tell by the audio levels there that when I said Brandenburger right here, it ends about right there. So if I click on the audio portion of this and then again slide the little indicator over and get rid of some of that dead air, I can clean it up just a little bit. I'll go back to the beginning, hit the play button. Okay, looks pretty good. I'll hit the pause button. And again, after I'm done talking, there's a couple more seconds for people to look at the page, and I think that's good. If you did want to move this, you could just click on it, hold down and drag it, and you can put it anywhere you want that recording to come in. So I kind of like it right in the middle there, so there's a little bit on either end. I can drag it and I'll kind of just stick it right there in the middle. Now I'll go to the next slide, and wherever I put the line that goes perpendicular here, we call that the playhead, wherever I put that at is where it's going to begin my recording. So again, if I go a little past where this slide comes in, and I'm going to hit the record button, bottom right corner. It'll bring up the microphone, and I will hit record. And I always like to practice before I do it. I'm going to say, I wish I had 100 gumballs. That's what I'm going to say. I hit record. It'll give me a countdown. I wish I had 100 gumballs. I hit the stop button then, and I'll hit accept if I like it. And I will record, I will move it down, or I'll just kind of leave it right there. And I'm going to hit the play button again to see what it looks like. Okay, a couple things about that. At the very beginning you could hear, hopefully you could hear, the little bit of static. So I want to see where I actually start talking. So I'm going to hit play again. And I could see that it was about right in here that I actually start talking. So there's a little static in this area there. So I'm going to put my playhead right there, click on the recording, and then take the left yellow bar and slide it over to my playhead. Oh, I missed the yellow bar. Try that again. I'll line it up to where I want it to actually start. Click the yellow bar, and it moved the playhead over, but I can still shrink it down to about right there. I'll check it to make sure that I didn't accidentally cut off my talking. Okay, and then the end of it, you could kind of hear this little jump, this little mountain, if you will, right here. There was some static, so I'm going to again trim up this to just kind of clean it up and put it about right there. So now I have my audio recording for my second slide. Now if I insert it again kind of in the middle, I want to make sure that it looks good, so I'll go back and play it again. And then on my next slide, I go to this one, hit my audio bottom right button, the microphone. It comes up, and I'm going to hit record. I wish I had 100 snowflakes. Hit the stop button, and I'll hit accept again. One thing to point out, if your movie isn't showing the little squiggly lines here, which I think are really important for cleaning it up, this button that's kind of underneath the camera roll, that's the squiggly lines that's highlighted in blue, if you turn that off you won't see those lines, so always make sure that that is on so you can see the audio levels. And the button right next to it's the undo button, which is nice to know as well. So this recording again, I'm going to just play it and see where I start talking. You can see there's a little bit of lag time there again, so I'm going to click on that level and I'm going to move this bar over a little bit so that it only gets my talking and not the static before it. And I'll play it. And that extra there at the end that's kind of just a flat line, I'll move over as well. And then I just have my audio recording. Okay. Now, if you may want to have kids, let me show you in this next slide. Well, first let me move this over so it's kind of in the middle of my picture. But you may want to have kids even comment more than just read their actual text on their story. So for instance, on this one, if first of all, I can't be clicked on this picture. My microphone won't show up. Make sure you click below it so that no picture is highlighted. I'll bring up my audio levels. And on this one, I'm going to say, I wish I had 100 basketballs because I love playing basketball with my friends. That'll be my recording for this one. I wish I had 100 basketballs because I love playing basketball with my friends. Now don't worry that you saw the dirty diapers come up as we were talking there, as I was still talking. I'll hit accept on that one. and now my level is longer than my picture, and this is what I wanted to show you here. So if I take my picture, click on that, I can extend it by holding down on the right yellow bar, and I can make it a little longer so that it's a little bit longer than my audio clip, because you want that to match up. So now again, let's check the audio clip and see if we can clean it up a little bit. Okay, that's just an option for you again. I'll just take that and trim it on the end a little bit, and then here I think I actually started talking. You could hear even some static while I was talking. It's important to tell the kids also to hold the iPad still. If they're moving the iPad around, it'll pick up just kind of the wind or sound movements of the iPad moving back and forth, so they want to make sure they hold it still. So again, I'll hit the play button. Okay, very good. And then the last one, I'm going to put the playhead where I want it to start. I'll hit the audio button bottom right and hit record. But I wouldn't want 100 dirty diapers. Hit accept and check it again. You can do the trimming. You know how to do that by now as well. And if you want to make this one even a little longer, you could do that to match your audio level before going on again to the last screen that the kids will set up if you want them to do an about the author. So that's basically the gist of it. If I hit the play button then, here's the movie that we have so far. The last thing that I wanted to show you kind of as a little bonus, if you wanted to add in just kind of some background music, because basically it's just dead air with you talking in the background, you could go up to audio at the top, and there's this little button, the very first one, called theme music. And if you add theme music, you can try different ones. They give you about 10 different ones to play with. If I hit the play button here, you can hear what this one sounds like. Kind of just some nice background music. You could do another one. The iReport is more for like if it was a news thing you were doing. This is kind of just a nice, real soft tune that you could do in the background. So let's say that I chose that one. I'll hit the down arrow. And when I hit that down arrow, it puts it there in the background. I'll hit the pause to stop it. And what's nice about iMovie is that it will automatically fade in and fade out the sounds so that they are the right levels. So in other words, you're not going to have this music that's overpowering while you're trying to talk. The music will get quiet while the talking is going on. Here's what this looks like now. My Hundreds Book by Matt Brandenburger. I wish I had 100 gumballs. I wish I had 100 snowflakes. I wish I had 100 basketballs because I love playing basketball with my friends. But I wouldn't want 100 dirty diapers. So you get the idea. Adding theme music can be really a nice way to make it look even a little bit more professional. The sound effects over here, again, I'm under audio on the right hand side. The kids love playing with these as well. They could add different sound effects into their movie as well. Maybe it doesn't really apply to what they're trying to do here, but for using iMovie later on, you could do that as well. Once you have completed your movie and you're satisfied with it, the last step that we need to do is to save it. And what you're going to do is at the very top left corner, the back arrow there, if you click on that, it will take you out. And the default name for it is My Movie. So if we click on where it says My Movie and hit the X button, let's put our names, and probably the best way to save these would be to put the student's name. So Matt's I guess we should use apostrophe S's, teach them the right way. So if I put Matt's 100 movie, then that'll be the name of my movie, and I hit done. It tells me the time of it and when I last modified it. If I would hit the play button, it would just play the movie, but I want to use the middle icon there in the middle, the one with the arrow coming out of the square. If I hit that, that's my send to button. And where I want to send it to, you can see all the different options that it gives you. But the one that we want to do is the save video, bottom left corner there. It'll ask you to choose an export size. I like to choose the HD, the highest video. It takes a little bit longer for it to export, but then it's the highest quality when you choose that one. And what it's doing now is it's exporting it to your camera roll. So once the export is done, I'll show you that we can go into your camera roll and you have it saved on your iPad as just a video in your iPad. So from there you could share it out using Gaggle across the district, or to share with your students if you wanted to show them one that you made. But this would be the way to get it onto your camera roll. It will live on your iPad, but then if you want to get it off of your iPad to share with others, you could use Gaggle to do that. So now it says exporting, and the final message says the movie was exported to your camera roll. We can verify that. I'll hit OK, and then I'll double click and go into my camera roll, into Photos, hit the camera roll. And if I hit the camera roll button, you'll see that the very latest one is this 33-second movie, bottom right corner. That is my iMovie. I hit play, and it will show you the movie that I made. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful. Feel free to go back, pause it, look at the different parts to help you out. If you have further questions, please don't hesitate to call me or email me. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks again. Have a great day.